Welcome to my channel. Today I am going to go through the interview questions that are asked in a SQL interview of Amazon. I already made the part 1, and that is I published that a week ago, and this is the part 2 of the series. If you look at my tool that I'm showing, I'm using Postgres as a database on the Postgres as a database, and going forward I'll be doing videos on the Postgres database. It is very easy to download the Postgres from the web. The tool is available free. At the end of the video, I'll cover that how can you download the Postgres, or I'll just give a link in the description, and then from there you can just simply download the Postgres on your Mac or on your Windows. So let's get started. I'll probably and one thing I kind of thought of, right? I mean, I'll probably write the query along with when we see this queries, we can just along with the questions, I can write the query so that you guys can also understand, right? I mean, how the what is the flow of the query, why we use certain functions, and then I'll also touch upon the concepts that are used, right? I mean, so Amazon tries to touch upon the concepts such as rank function, row number function, those are called Windows function, and then group by, where clause. So I'll probably be making more videos on differences between where and group by and things like that, the concepts of the SQL. But for this video, let's get started. So there are three tables that are being given to us. So first table is select star from customer. So customer table. Pretty straightforward customer table, right? So you have customer 1 2 3 4 5 6, customer 7, their customer name, customer cities, the customer date of birth, and then customer pin code. The second table is customer territory. So in that, again, customer ID is there, right? So just we need to just know that customer ID can be joined with a customer table to get the territory, right? So territory ID, if you see, these are basically the states: the Arizona, California, Utah, Ohio, right? And then customer city, the Atlanta, SanJose, Austin, and customer pin code. And then map employee territory. So the employee territory is there. So if you see the common column between customer territory and map employee territory is territory ID, right? One is basically customer territory where customer resides. The second one is the employee territory where employee resides, and then product subcategory of the employee. So these are the three tables. So first query that they are asking us is write a query to display those customer names and their occurrences when the customer name appears more than once. So basically what they are asking is display the customer names and the number of times those customer are there in the table, right? And there where it is occurring more than once. So here you just need to be a little bit careful while looking at the question, because if you look at this question, right, they try to trick us. Like how? So they are saying those customer names, okay? They are not saying customer ID. So what will come into your mind first thing? Customer ID. But no, if you see customer ID is unique, right? It's a primary key. So if you see 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? If you do a count, the customer is going to appear only once. So all customer will show up, but they are saying customer names. So if you see customer names, customer name number 1 is Lindy, 2 is Madison, 3 is Kiara, 4th is Beth, 5th is Beth, 6th is Beth. So if you see, Beth name is appearing 3 times, and then Lindy's name is appearing 2 times. So in this case, what should be our answer? Our answer should be Beth and Lindy, because Kiara and Madison are appearing only once, right? So Beth should be 3 times, Lindy should be 2 times. So let's get started. So here let's select the columns, right? So what we want to do is they want us to display customer underscore name, right? So customer underscore name, and then let's first write the table name. That's how I am wired to write the queries. You might have your own technique, but here let's say you want to just write a customer. I just like to write the table name first, so that if we are using more than one table, we are pretty much kind of, it is in my mind that I need to use two tables, right? So customer name, and then they want the count, right? So what they want, the count on the, so we can do a count star, right? Count on the customer name, right? And we can say as count, as occurrence, right? Okay, from customer. Now if you see count, so count is a kind of a function. So you can't just write where, because you have to do a group by, because when you do a max or count, right, those kind of function, max, min, count, you have to do a group by, and I'll cover in different videos, right? I mean, what is the differences between where, group by, having, things like that, right? So group by customer name, right, because they want the customer name, they want the count, right? So count is a function, so that will not come in group by. Okay, and then you need to say having count of customer name greater than 1, because they want the appearances to for the more than 1, right? So let's just run this query. So if you see, Lindy and Beth both are appearing, right? So if you did not use the group by, right, what will happen is, if you just run this query, it's going to give you error. Customer underscore name must appear in group by clause or be used in an aggregate function. So these are all the aggregate function, count, max, things like that, right? So you can't just write like this, because when you're doing count, you need to group by certain things, right? So you need to group by customer name. So if they are asked you customer ID, then you need to group by customer ID, right? So, and then group by, and then having. So you can't write where here. With group by, where will not go. Okay, where, okay, syntax error. Having, so having goes with group by. So this is one of the other interview question, that group by, can where go with group by, or how will you filter you using group by. So group by and having goes kind of together. So having is nothing but one kind of filter, but that clause goes always along with the group by. Okay, so this is our answer to the first question, right? The second query is, write a query to get the employees who are responsible for maximum number of customers, right? So this is a little tricky, right? I mean, this is little tricky. The reason is, they are saying that write a query to get the employees who are responsible for maximum number of customers. So when this question is given to you, right, you need to just read a sentence properly and see what tables needs to be used, right? So let's say they are talking about employees, they are talking about customers, right? So what is going to join customer and employees, right? So with that is something we need to think about. So if you see only customer table, there is a customer ID, but there is no employee ID, right? What we saw was, there was a customer territory table which has customer ID, and then employee territory table which has employee ID, right? But both of them have territory ID, right? So that gives you a click that both tables needs to be joined by territory ID, correct? So that is something you need to keep in mind. Just read the sentence, and from there you will get a clue which table to use and which column to use, right? So write a query to get the employees who are responsible for maximum number of customers. So basically what they are saying is, give me the employees, right, employee ID, who are responsible for maximum number of customers, right? So this employee, if you see, can be responsible for, right? So if you see employee 1, employee 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5, 6, right? If you see here, each of them are belonging to different territory ID, correct? But if you see here, customer territory, what you will see, the Arizona has two customers, right? So moment you join the Arizona territory ID, Arizona, when it joins on Arizona, it will bring up two customers, right? And all other has single customer, right? So if you go to here, then you need to see where is Arizona, where is the Arizona listed here. So Arizona is employee 1's territory, right? So the answer for this is are responsible for maximum number of customers, so employee 1 will be responsible for maximum number of customers, right? So that's our answer. So let's get started. The thing is, so okay, so to get the maximum number of employees, what we need to do, we need to get a count, right? We need to get a count, we need to count a count of customer, and then we need to get the maximum of that, correct? Because if you just getting a count is not going to help here, right? They are saying maximum number, right? So first thing is just write down the tables, right? So let's say from customer underscore territory C, let's just call this C, and then employee underscore map underscore employee underscore territory, right? Where we need to join this, right? We need to join these two tables. So here, since employee name, correct, from the map underscore employee territory, you have employee underscore ID, correct? They want to get the employee, right? So this is our query, correct? Just a simple query to make sure that, okay, so here saying we did not assign E to this, right? So let's just assign E to this. So if you see, we got the employees, right? Employee numbers based on the territory, right? So if you see this based on the territory ID, we got 2 employees, right? Employee 1 2 times. So that's the one that we need to get. Okay. Now what we need to do is, so this is something that they are trying to test. Okay, they are trying to test our basically subquery knowledge, because here you have to write a subquery. Okay, so let's just write a subquery. So what do we need? Since we are going to select employee ID from here, so what we are doing is basically subquery is nothing but a query within query, where we are kind of forming another table. Okay, underscore ID. Now remember what we wanted a count, correct? And count of what? We want a count of customer ID, right? Right, we want a count of the customer ID, because otherwise how will we determine the maximum value, correct? So that's the thing. And then we need to rank them, correct? Because so rank is a function here we need to use. We can use row num also, and I'll go through that, and I'll make a video where I'll cover different Windows function called rank, row number, dense rank, and things like that, and differences between them, right? Here we can use both row number and rank, and I'll tell you why. I'll just go through that, but let's just use rank. Rank, and rank always goes with the over partition by. Okay, so here we are not going to partition, because we are just going to simply partition by employee ID, right? So we don't need to write that. So order by, what we need to do, we need to order, right? We need to order by count of customer ID, right? And then we need a max, right? So we need a max. That's why what we are going to do is we are going to do descending, correct? Because I just want to make sure we got the brackets right, because see, we want a maximum count, right? That's why we need to do descending. So what it will do is it will do 2 1, right? Like that it will do. If you do ascending, it will give a minimum one, right? So which we don't want. In this case we want a maximum one, right? As rank number. Okay, and then let's just write row number also, because I just wanted to show you the results of that. Row underscore number, right? And then we can just copy this, So this Windows function will always go with the over clause. Okay, just keep that in mind. Okay. Okay. So if you see that, right, and here we'll have to write a group by, because when we are writing count function, again count we used here, that has to go with the group by clause. Okay, and let's just name this table as X, right? So if you run this query, right, internal query, what you get is, see, you get employee 1, 2 customers like we saw, right? The other employees have 1 customers, right? So that's correct. Rank number, if you see, right, rank, so that's why I mentioned that in this case you will get rank number and row number. You can use either of that. The reason for that is because there is only one to count, right? So that's why what rank does is, rank gives the highest number to the highest count, right, and it will do 1, and then it will basically, if you see, it is assigning the same count, same basically number to all three, because all three are matching, right, 1 1 1. So it's assigning the rank 2. Row number, what it does is, just doesn't care about the rank, it will just give the number 1 2 3 4, right? So in this case you can use one of them. Okay, so here you can say where rank x dot rank underscore number is equals to 1, right? Select E employee ID. Okay, we need to use X here, right, because we are taking it from this table. Okay, so that's your answer, employee 1. Okay, so now here if we use row number, what is going to be the answer? Answer is going to remain the same. Okay, employee 1. Okay, so if you don't do that, so here see what happens. Here you get rank 1 to 2, right? Now if you see this, if you remove this descending, right, let's say we wanted minimum, then let's see what happens. So if you see, row number is employee 1, employee 2, 3, 4, it's assigning the row number. Okay, and rank, see what is happening, it's assigning the rank number 1. Okay, and then since all three rows are same thing, it is giving the rank 4 here, right? So that's the difference. Okay, so here also I need to remove it actually, right? We were not comparing like to like. So if you see here, now this is the correct one. So if you see here, when we did ascending, we basically it gave a count of customer, it gave rank 1, and then it skipped 2 ranks because all three are 1 row 1, right? So it will skip. But row number 1 2 3 4, so in this case if you do row number is equal to 1, you will get this. But if you do rank number, right, then you get all three, because rank is what is going to give. So I would use basically, you know, rank always. The reason for that is, count of customer ID DSC. Okay, okay, so the reason for that is because if you see this data, right, imagine employee 5 also had 2 customers, then what would have happened? You can't use a row number, right? Because if employee 5 also had 2, right, count of 2, they said maximum number of customers. So maximum number, they did not say only one, give me one, right? They said maximum number. So if they had two, this would have, it would have assigned rank 1 1 to both of them, right? It would have assigned rank 1 1 to both of them, and then it would have skipped and said rank 3 3. Okay, row number would have remained the same, 1 2 3 4. So in that case, if you see 1, the second employee 5 would have missed out, right? So I think rank is the better option, right, when it's compared. So it'll basically take care of the data, right? I mean, it'll basically, if you have the multiple counts using the same having the same customer, right, multiple employees, then it'll list all those employees, and that's the correct answer, right? So I go with the rank in this case. Okay, now so this here, what did it cover? It covered the subquery phenomena, right? Subquery, it covered the rank phenomena, right? It covered the rank function, which is a window function. It covered the count, which is aggregate function. It covered the group by, right? So, and then it covered the where. So remember, see the difference. Group by, I used it within this subquery, but I considered this as a table, right? I considered this as a table. I assigned the table name x to this whole table, and on this table, since I am selecting only x.employee ID, I can use the where, which is a filter, right? So a lot of concepts covered here, right? I mean, that's what they'll test you. Like if you are writing a query, right? I mean, that's what they would like to test you, that whether you know all the concepts of SQL or not, right? So, and then finally, other concept that was covered was inner join, right? Because you join two tables, and I'll cover the joins also in the in some other videos, right? But here we use the inner join. Okay. Now there is a query. Write a query to get query number 3. Write a query to get those employees having no customers, right? So if you go and look at this table, right? I mean, we need to use both these tables, the map employee territory and customer territory, right? Obviously we need to, since they're asking for both customer and employee, again we need to join through these tables. So if you see map underscore employee territory, right? So if you see here, there are around 6 different states, right? So if you see, there are 6 employees, and then you have 1 2 3 4 5 6 5 different states, right? California is common to employee 5 and employee 2, and if you see customer territory, you see around AZ, CA, Utah, Ohio, Arizona and Nevada, right? So if you see how many are common, I think Arizona was there, California was there, and Ohio was there, right? Arizona is there, California is there, Utah is there also, right? So New Mexico and MA are not there, right? So we need to, so our answer should be New Mexico and MA, right? Because those two are employees having no customers, right? So these two employees are having no customers, right? Employee 3 and employee 4, because it's not there in a customer table, right? So what we are going to write is select, and what are they asking for? Employees, right? So employee underscore ID from map underscore employee underscore territory, right? That's the table that we are using, right? Where now they are saying those employees having no customers, right? Having no customers. So where, and what is the common basically column here? Territory ID, right? That's how we are going to get those data, right? So where territory ID not in, right? Not in, because we don't want those employees we only want those employees who are having no customers, right? So territory underscore ID from, now we need to get the customer table, correct? Because we are looking for those employees where territory ID is not in there, right? In the customer table. So if you see, right, so where territory ID is not in, select territory ID from customer underscore territory. So if you run this subquery, you will get all the states, right, as we saw in customer table. And now what we are saying is find the employees whose territory ID is not in this particular territory ID, right? So as we saw, Arizona, Utah, Ohio, and California were there. New Mexico was New Mexico and I think other state, right? Massachusetts state. I think MA was not there. Nevada is not there in both the things, so it doesn't matter, right? Nevada is not there in the other table also. So let's just run this query and see employee 3 and employee 4, right? That's what we wanted, correct? That's the result we wanted. So here, if you see the concepts that is again covered is the subquery concept, right? Because we had to write subquery for this, and then we are testing your knowledge whether you are able to find the data or not, right? So it's not a simple in, right? Usually it's exist or in. Here it is not in. You have to find something which is not there in the other table, right? So that's how you know, this question 3 is there. Okay, so I think I covered 3 questions. I covered several concepts today. My request to you guys is please subscribe to my channel and like my videos, right? I mean, this will help me kind of, you know, spend more time you know, preparing this all these queries and preparing the questions, the concepts, right? And then these are the questions which are basically asked in Amazon Senior BIE or data engineer, senior data engineer, right? These concepts are definitely covered. The data obviously might not be exact, or tables will not be exact, but you know, if you know this concept, it is fairly easy for you to pass that interview, right? And I can assure you that it will be, one question will be there on the Windows function, right? I mean, or subqueries or joins, right? Because these are the very powerful and very kind of code concepts of SQL, right? So it will be asked, right? So this will definitely help you progress in your interview and prepare better for your interview. So guys, that's it for today. I'll prepare another video. You know, there is definitely part 3 coming up for sure for the another Amazon interview questions, SQL interview questions, right? Until then, thank you.